We organize the company as a public benefit corporation, and our public benefit statement is specifically around increasing the amount of open and specifically linked open data in the world. And we're very committed to that cause, but maybe a little paradoxically, I think something we thought was really important in order to achieve that was to embrace the idea of private data, of being able to work on data in private. A couple of reasons for that. One is just there's some data that makes sense to be private, right? There is some data sets that you collect as an organization that are competitive advantage versus in a business context might be competitive advantage, or that have some sensitivity for people's identities or for privacy concerns. So there's some data that makes sense to be private, and there always will be. But even data that ends up being open has a life cycle during which it might make sense for that data to be private, right? When you're working on building a data asset, you don't necessarily want to do all of that work 100% in the open. You might want to do that work in private and develop it and work with peers, and you might have a slowly growing concentric circle of people that you expose that work to as it gets developed. If you're an academic researcher, you certainly want to be able to be the first person to publish papers and results of that data, and then over time making the core data assets themselves because open becomes something that that movement is happening in academia. I think it seems maybe a bit slower than a lot of us would like at times, but the movement toward actually mandating that when you publish scientific research, you publish the data in a meaningful, usable, and really in the modern age that means machine readable and fully repeatable way. That movement's happening. It's happening slowly, and I think it is more of a political. Maybe political is the wrong word. More of a more of a mindset shift than it is a technology. But it's also that there hasn't really been a lot of great technology focused on that sharing and making data open.